Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Let us give you player ratings. Kaizer Chiefs versus Marumo Gallants. After Kaizer Chiefs won the Kufa Cup. Siwea, shut up. But anyway, let's get into it. But before we get into it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Kaizer Chiefs won a cup where they didn't have to beat anyone else to get to the final, and we just got it. So I am one of those people. If you guys realize yesterday, I created the video while the penalty shootouts were happening. I was not watching the penalty shootouts because, to be quite honest, I did not care about the penalties. I only cared about what I saw in the performance, because a penalty is anyone's game. Even if you practice penalties on the day, if the keeper decides that it demon like a livugile, you can save all of your penalties. So that's why I was just evaluating the game. But let's get to player ratings. Bruce Bvuma, he didn't have much to do in the poll, but we all know Bruce Bvuma is not the Nandi on his feet. So we saw that Ntwari is actually slightly better than Bvuma there, but he didn't have much. I can say that he was threatened or anything, just because Marumo Gallants is just so poor up front. But I will give Bvuma his flowers in that when he was called upon, he saved Chiefs. When he was called, he was there. So in the first half, when that guy got a one-on-one, Bvuma played. So for that, I'm gonna give Bvuma 6.5. I'm gonna give him 6.5, but I feel like he could have done better to just manage the general defending, because sometimes we just look scrappy, and I feel like having a keeper that can speak or do things, it can make things a bit better, you know. And I say this because I'm watching Ronwen Williams these days as a different kind of player. Ronwen Williams these days, his communication has reached another level that I didn't see at SuperSport, where he can control his defense. He doesn't just need to be a super keeper. He can control his defense to limit the amount of chances. So the next one, Cross, I'm going to give a 5 or 5.5 if you want to be nice. A lot of you in my comments were saying he was actually good. He stopped that striker. But I'm like, guys, do you know that winger that he stopped? If so, one of you can at least tell me that guy's name, I will say, okay, I understand. That winger who was giving Frost a terrible time, that winger that was making Frost dive and have to slide, and because that's the thing with Frost. Me, guys, I'll be honest. What is different between Frostler and Cross is that when Cross is on his side, it seems like the attackers gain more confidence the more they attack Cross. They feel they can beat him. But when it's on Frostler's side, Frostler intimidates these guys to a point where they are scared to go at him on one because they feel they will lose. So then what they tend to do is that they go against Frostler like with more numbers. They go 2v1, 3v1. You know, that's how they feel they can attack Frostler. But when with Cross, it feels like they are confident that I'm tall. So that's when it's like that, it just means that your left back doesn't give a thought, isn't commanding, and the players aren't scared of him. And that's what Cross has. So players tend to want to keep attacking him. Attack. And they get past him. There are a lot of times that guy got past him, and there are a lot of times he won't get past him. But if that guy was like a Saleng, if that guy was a Ribeiro, then Marumo Gallants would have had more chances at goal. But because he's just an average winger, he can just make Cross look busy. So that's why I don't like how Cross is doing. And his slide tackling, I always say one day he's going to get the wrong player. He's going to force Cross to slide tackle, and that guy will be one-on-one with our keep. The next one, Msimango, I'm going to give a 5.5. A lot of you are going to say, why 5.5? Guys, Msimango, it had some good moments, but one thing he tried to do is play a game that is not his. This thing of Msimango taking the ball and trying to run into the midfielder, which Kwinika did as well, and then they lose the ball, it's not good. It's like they want to be Dottley, but Dottley doesn't even run into the middle like that. He just finds the pass. But Msimango can't pass players like Dottley does, and Msimango can't run with the ball. So what tends to happen is that our defense ends up losing the ball too much. our defense in this game against Marumo, we gave up the ball away too much just because our defense is not comfortable. And that includes Miguel. Miguel is not comfortable at his feet with the ball, but he's just a very different level of player. So you have to have him on the field because he may not be the best in terms of passing and stuff like that, but you must know that is not his job. As Miguel is a terror. Miguel, how many chances did Miguel stop? One man. Whether it was on the left or on the right, Miguel can read the game and he can stop a lot of chances. So Miguel, let's go to Miguel. Miguel, I'm going to give a 7. The reason why I'm giving Miguel a 7 is just that leadership. When he's on the field, I don't feel like we're going to concede just because of how he reads the game, how he talks to the players. He sometimes will tell a player like, hey, when I am going to attack, go behind. Like the way these guys listen to this guy, it's very interesting because of how he reads the game. And so that's why I'm going to give him 7. The next one is Frosler. Frosler is the standard. I'm going to give him a 6, actually a 6.5. This game. The reason why I want to give him 6.5, I want to give him a 7, but I feel like he didn't have a 7-like game. He had more of a 6.5, but he was very good today. Not even defense, he didn't get attacked that much, but in attack, this thing of, someone mentioned it in the chat. I forgot the person's name. I'll actually try to find the name, but someone mentioned it in the chat to say, Frosler did something very interesting in this game. Instead of playing too wide, he decided to cut in. And when he was cutting in, what was happening is that when he was inverting, what happened is that he started getting more chances, and that's how he created so many chances for Duba. Duba had a lot of chances in this game just because of how Frosler was positioning himself. So from that standpoint, I want to say well done to Frosler on that. He really, really did well. I believe the person who said this is Nkosi Ngcobo, 9236. Nkosi Ngcobo, you the one who mentioned this thing of Frosler. So well done to you for pointing that out. The next one, DM. Blom still getting his fitness. He's not the Blom that we like. So I'm just gonna give him a 6. He's not there. He didn't control the midfield the way I know Blom can. He just had a clean game. You know, he just had a clean game. He didn't do bad. He didn't do good. Just had a very clean game. The next one, Samkelo Zwane, I'm going to give a 6. I know a lot of you are going to cry because I'm giving him a 6. But it's simple, guys. He is getting better. Yes, Samkelo Zwane is getting better. Definitely in his aggression as a defensive midfielder. He no longer gives up, and he's positioning himself better as a defensive midfielder, which I am loving. It shows coaching, meaning that with each and every passing game, Samkelo Zwane is going to get better and better and better and better. Now the question you're going to ask is that, why did I only give him a 6 if I'm saying these things? I give him a 6 because Samkelo Zwane is, in a lot of moments, scares you when he plays very much as the last number 6, because he does things that are very dangerous as a number 6. The reason why I'm saying this is that he wants to dribble, he wants to turn at the wrong moment, he wants to do a fancy pass when it's not the right time to do a fancy pass. It's like he forgets he's playing, and he all of a second Sunday thinks that he's Eminem or he's 50 Cent, angazin, or he's Nasty C in Tangazak. I don't know what happens in those moments, but he all of a second Sunday thinks he's on hip hop, and it just becomes too comfortable. And when he becomes too comfortable, he starts doing nonsense, Baba. Yeah? He starts doing zintos about Casper, vegetable, Puma game, whatever. Yeah? Yeah, Titombo win, sha. So that's what he does, and that thing is annoying because he's such a good player, but he loses focus. He forgets he's in a match, and all of a second Sunday he's on a stage rapping in front of girls. I don't know what happens with this guy, but anyway. The next one is Mfundo Vilakazi. Mfundo Vilakazi, not his best game. Mfundo Vilakazi is one of those players who I feel how can I explain Mfundo Vilakazi? Mfundo Vilakazi is one of those players I believe is talented, but listens to instructions too much or tries to do the right thing too much. And I say this because you guys are going to criticize me in saying this. I say this because when you watch Mfundo Vilakazi, there's two types of Mfundo Vilakazis. He's either trying to be too fancy or he's trying to do too much of the right thing. And I know it's going to sound very contradictory or it's going to sound like I'm talking nonsense. But it's that thing where there are moments where you like Mfundo Mthat and he just passes. There are moments where you like Mfundo make it simple pass and he wants to do a fancy pass. And it's in those moments you like, man, Mfundo man, you just need to gain the confidence to make the right decision. It's like Mfundo Vilakazi sometimes plays like he's a PlayStation. Angazi kanjani how I can explain this. But yeah, it's like if I compare him to Rile Bokhile, Rile plays a very simple game, but there are moments where he takes a chance. And because he's starting to gain confidence, he's starting to take more chances because he knows he's not going to lose the ball. But when you get to Mfundo Vilakazi, he's looking like a player who is too scared to make mistakes. And he looks like a player who I feel he will get better the more game time he gets. I think the more Mfundo Vilakazi plays, the better he will be in being confident in taking more chances sometimes. Because when he does take those smaller nyana chances, he beats the player. Look at that guy these guys have been in this game. They were pulling Mfundo Vilakazi in so many moments and you are like, why can't he do more of this? And it's just because of that. It feels like he's too scared sometimes to make mistakes. But anyway, for that, I'm going to give him a 6. Shabalala, I'm going to give a 6. Not a very influential game. Mfundo has a lot of energy, but sometimes he doesn't use his brain. He's just indecisive. It's like having a player with talent who just can't think sometimes, you know. That's sometimes how Mfundo Shabalala comes across. That's why I'm like, Shabalala can play for any team in South Africa. Shabalala can play in the top leagues in Europe, but his problem is that his decision making is very poor. So that is his only problem. Until he figures out how to do better with his decisions on the ball, I feel like he will still not score goals or create a lot of assists, but he's moving in the right direction. Disclaimer, for all the young players, I'm going to add a disclaimer and say, my comments on the young players is not to criticize them or be harsh on them. I have to give fair criticism on all of them, but I believe in our young players. I believe Samkelo, I believe Uduba, everyone. Duba also had a better game. Actually, this game I'm going to give Uduba 7 just because he did the right things. He attacked the space the right way. He did a lot of the things this game was actually Duba's best game for me in a Kaizer Chiefs shirt under Nabi. Like, this is the Duba I want to see because he showed the right attacking ability. Today it felt like he was playing as a winger striker because he made sure he gets into the box. He made sure he makes the right run. So Duba, I liked his game. Saile got injured. Saile got injured, but I'm just going to give him a 5.5. He was better than most games, but I would even want to give him a 6 just because of the runs he was making at the behind were the right kind of runs. We almost scored with one of those chances. So, yeah. Other players I'm not going to mention because they didn't have enough time. But the one player I wanted to highlight and give big props to is Nkosi Ngcobo. Nkosi Ngcobo, this is the final player I'm going to rate. I am going to give Nkosi Ngcobo a 6.5. But what I'm going to say about Nkosi Ngcobo is Nkosi Ngcobo has a gift from God. uNkulunkulu has blessed Nkosi Ngcobo with the talent of playing soccer. I don't know what this boy needs, but this boy is so talented. Umnandi, uchisa njengo pele pele. Hey, this boy umnandi. But his problem, I don't know what it is. it's like I understand why the coaches are not playing him, just because he's a liability in defense, and that is the biggest reason they're not playing him. But Nabi has to figure out a way to play Nkosi Ngcobo. I don't care if Nabi has to even play as a winger, but I know his best position is not even a winger. But this boy, when Nkosi Ngcobo makes a 10, you know how many players this guy beats? It feels like, what would Nkosi Ngcobo do when he's playing with a player like Serino? I feel like Nkosi Ngcobo and Serino would understand each other like angazi yini. So, hey, Nkosi Ngcobo, mfana, pick up your socks, Baba, and keep pushing. We need you on this field with Serino Nomdusha Balala. We need you there. I feel like you are our missing piece and we don't even know it. Amakhosi for life.